Yes, good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Uh, last and how was the test?
Good, sir.
Okay. And yesterday, last class before test, we were discussing lists. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, lists we were discussing, and few examples also you wrote. Write a Python program to multiply all the items in the list. I think all this thing was done. And Python program to get the largest number from a list, and I got the response also from you people. And this was the program, and similarly the smallest from the list. This was also done, I remember, and I hope we were doing this. Write a Python program to count the number of strings where the string length is 2 or more, and the first and the last character are same for the given list of strings. This is the sample list which is taken. You have to count the strings which has the string length 2 or more, and the first and the last character must be same. Okay, this is more than 2. Okay, but the first and the last character is not same, and again this is more than 2, but the first and last character is not same. This is more than 2, first and last characters are same, this is counted. This is again more than 2, but the first and last character is same, this is counted. So expected result is 2. So I had told you people to write the answer for this. Okay, now I'll show you the answer. This can be done very easily in Python by using the concept of what indexing or slicing. Okay, now here again I have written it in the form of the function. So this is what I'm calling print match words. This is the strings which I'm passing. Okay, list of strings which I'm passing, and here I've taken a counter and it is initialized to 0 because I want to count how many such words are there. So for word in words, so I'm doing this. If length of the word, okay, so length of the word is greater than, sorry, it should what the question said, string length is 2 or more. Okay, so greater than 1 is nothing but what, 2 itself. So length of word greater than 1, and so it says the first and the last character must be same. Okay, see, so this is what the first character is, and you know how to access the last character also, because indexing or slicing also supports the negative integers. So first character of the same word I'm comparing with the last character. So if both matches, if this condition is also true and this one is also true, I increment the counter. So I repeat this for all the words and finally return the counter. So and this will give you the count. Okay, now I'll execute this. So easy, so easily you can do in Python. I'm copying this to yeah, I've copied and the result expected is 2. So it is 2. Okay, now if I add one more element, okay, let me copy this again. Only this much is enough for me. I don't have to call everything because function definition is already there. Okay, I'll add one more. Say I add a, and then I'll add one more, only a. So it says 2 or more, true or more. Now this, the first and the last character is again same. I've intentionally taken it as a, and this is only one character, and this should not be counted. So now it is 3, including this a. Okay, and this a is neglected. Okay, so this is not counted. So and like this. Okay, so you can easily do the operations on the list of integers or on the list of strings. So it's so easy using the concept of indexing or slicing. we'll go to the next one. Okay, this was the example. I hope all of you have copied this. Is it clear? Shall we move to the next?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, one more example. Write a Python program to check a list is empty or not. So I want to check whether a list is empty. Now, one way of doing this is by finding the length of the list and then checking the length value. If it is equal to 0, you can say the list is empty. So now there is other way also. Okay, so this can be done by using not operator. Okay, so L is equal to list. So I'm creating an empty list, and then I want to check whether this is empty or not. If not, L. Okay, this condition will be true if the list is empty, and we have the statement print list is empty printed. Okay, so any point of time, if you're interested in knowing whether the list is empty or not, so this is what you can make use of. You can make use of the not operator with the list, and the condition will be true if the list is empty, and you can print the list is empty. Okay, what I'll do, I'll copy this. We'll also check this. Okay, so now it should say the list is empty. So list is empty. Now the same thing, so let us not make it empty now. So we'll put some integers. Let me make it as list of integers. So I have 2 integers in it. Now nothing is printed because the list is not empty. So remember this, any point of time, if you are interested in knowing whether a list is empty or not, you can use this not operator in the conditional statement. Okay, next. Next, list operations. Okay. Now the plus operator on the list, what it will do, it will concatenate both the lists and it will make it as one big list. Okay, so this is how. Say this is one list, integer list A, this is another integer list B. Now what I'm doing is I want to find combine these 2 lists. So list 1 and list 2, list A and list B I need to combine. How do I combine? Just say C is equal to A plus B. So A is a list, integer list, B is another integer list. What the plus operator on the list will do is it will go for concatenating them. Okay, so and when I'm finally printing C, you can see both the list A and B are concatenated. Okay, so since the Python programming language supports all this thing, the list, one of the beautiful data structures and strings and then the dictionaries, so this is very powerful language for data science applications. Okay, let us check this also. Okay, I'm creating the list A. Now I'll create the list B. So list B I'm creating. So list B is also created. Now what I'll do, I'll go for concatenating them and create a new list called as C. See, so I'm concatenating A with B. Sorry, B I'm concatenating with A using the operator plus, and this C again it is one more list. Okay, so concatenate it, and you can check that by printing the list C. Print C. See, both the lists are concatenated. Okay, now you understood in the previous slide so how the plus operator behaves for the lists. So it basically does the concatenation of 2 lists. Similarly, what a star operator does, it repeats. Okay, so star usually means what? Multiply. So now the star operator repeats a list a given number of times. Say for example, I have a list with only one item, that is 0. Now what I'm doing, so I'm using the star operator, I'm writing 4. Okay, now what happens? So this star operator is going to repeat this items in this list how many times? 4 times. So now this is my new list. Now how many zeros I can find here? 4 zeros. And similarly I have another example. Okay, So don't confuse. So list star operator and number is not going to multiply the items of this list with 3. So what it will do, it will just multiply this list itself. So into 3, so 1 2 3, this entire content of this list is repeated how many times? 3 times. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Okay, so that is what the star operator does, repeats a list for so many times. Okay, so we'll perform the execution of this. So I'll take an empty list 0 and into 4 let me do. So I have the items of this list 0 repeated how many times? 4 times. So I'll take a bigger list 1 2 3 and then I say multiply by 4. So I have the list repeated for how many times? 4 times. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. So this is one more beautiful thing. Okay. Next, list slices. So you understood in the previous classes that slices or indexing is possible for the strings, but the same slicing concept or indexing concept can be used on the lists as well. Okay, but with the basics, what you understood was strings are immutable whereas lists are mutable. So meaning, so when you are using the concept of slicing on strings, so the slicings or indexing cannot be there on the LHS component. So when you're using the slicing and indexing components with the list, still because lists are mutable. What does it mean? The slicing or the indexing concept can be even written on the expression which is there on the LHS in case of list. Hence it is called as mutable, but strings are immutable. So now the same slicing or indexing concepts also works with the list. Okay, now how it works we'll see. So I have taken a temporary list. T is equal to, so list of characters A B C D E F. Okay, so these are all characters and I can also call them as strings because they are written inside the single quotes. Now if I am interested in accessing only B and C, okay, so a part of this particular list, so then I can make use of the concept of indexing T1:3. Now as already told, the index by default is from 0, okay, 1 2. Okay, since I've told 1 to 3, this is 0, this is not taken into account. So 1 and then 2, so it is always higher index minus 1. So this is 1 and 2, so B and C is printed. And similarly, even for the list, in the strings you understood you can go for omitting the lower index, and sometimes we omit the higher index. Now omitting the lower or higher index is also possible in case of lists. Now what we have done in this example is we have omitted the lower index. So since the lower index is omitted, so always it will start from the beginning of the list. Okay, so A B C D 0 1 2 3. So if I go in terms of indexes, so 4 minus 1 is what? 3. It will go till the index 3. And similarly, is it possible to omit the higher index? Yes, it is possible. So we have omitted in the next example the higher index. Higher index is omitted. Now what will happen from the index 3? Okay, where it will go. This is 0 1 2 3. From D it will go till the end. Okay, so this is what. So and all these things you know, and now the concept of slicing and indexing also works exactly similar to the strings on the list. Now, so this is what I mentioned. You omit the first index, the slide starts from the beginning. If you omit the second index or the higher index, the slice goes till the end. So and you can also go for omitting both the first index as well as the second index. So if you're omitting both, then it will copy the entire list, or it will get you the entire list. See, there is no first index and there is no higher index or second index. So the entire list is copied or entire list is fetched. Okay, so we'll quickly see the execution of this. I'll take the same list. Okay, I've taken this list, and then I want to access this B and C. I'm using the concept of indexing. Okay, from the list T, I want to access from the first index 1 to the higher index 3. Have them fetched, and next you can omit the lower index or the first index. If you omit the first index or the lower index, it will always start from the beginning. Okay, and it will go till the second index what you have specified. And similarly, you can have the second index omitted. So it does something like this: D, E, F. Okay, next. Both the things can be omitted also, first as well as the second. So if you're omitting, so then it will if you skip the first as well as the second index, what it copies is the entire list. Okay, next. Now slice operator on the left side of an assignment can update multiple elements. Now, as already told in the beginning, lists are mutable, hence you can have the slice operator specified at the left hand side or the LHS also. So that is what we are doing here. So this is my original list. Now I just want to modify, so this B and C, I don't want them as B and C, I just want to change them to X and Y. Now how can I do it? So like this, you can have the slicing operator on the left hand side of the assignment operator. Okay, T of 1 to 3 X comma Y. Okay, so the same thing will not work for the strings, but it works for the lists. Okay, so now we have B getting replaced by X and C getting replaced by Y. Okay, so this. Now we'll quickly execute this and then we'll move on to the next one. Understood, no? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is my list. So this concept also demonstrates that the lists are mutable. Okay. So done. Now I'll print it. So when I print, you can see that the list is muted. Okay, so B and C, they're replaced by X and Y. Okay, we'll go to the next slide. List methods. Okay, so till now you understood how to create a list, how to check whether a list is empty or not, and then how to go for extracting the elements from the list using the concept of indexing or slicing. Now time to understand, so what are the methods that are available in the list, or the methods that can operate on the list. So Python provides variety of methods so that operate on the list. There are many functions or methods which operates on the list, and we are going to discuss few of them now. So first and foremost among all the methods that are supported by the list is append. Now what it does, adds a new element to the end of a list. So in case say I have defined already a list, now I want to update that list by adding few more elements at the end. Okay, then I can go for using the append function. See, I have the list already defined, T is equal to ABC, and now I want to add, say I forgot to add one more item D to my list, then I can easily add it. Now to which list I need to add? To the list T. Now you got to invoke this append method on the list, on the particular list to which you got to add a new item. So T dot append this D. So you cannot call these methods independently. So this method, append method, is always called with a list. Okay? You can invoke with the list. So what is my list? T dot append. What it will do? It will take this new character and it will just append it to this list. Okay. So this append method is invoked on a list, and then finally I'm printing it. Now when I print, so you can observe that the D element D is appended to the end of the, remember that the whatever you add using the append method gets appended to the end of the list. Okay, so this is one method. I'll just demonstrate this. So let me clear this. This is the list created. Now I want to append just t dot append D. It is appended. Now I'll say print T. Okay, it is appended. There is no new list created. The same old list T is appended with the new item D. Next, extend. Okay, so this is another method. So extends takes a list as an argument, one other list, and appends all of the elements. Okay, so you can just observe here in this example, I have taken the list T1. Okay, and this is my ABC. There is another list with the name T2 with two items D and E. Now I want to extend my list T1 with the items of what? The list T2. How do I do it? Since I am interested in extending the list T1 with the items of the list T2, so I have to invoke this. On which list I got to invoke this extend method? I got to invoke it on the T1. In case if you are interested in extending the list T2 with the items of the list T1, so then you got to invoke this extend method on T2. So since my intention is to add this D and D or extend my T1 list, with the items of T2, I'm invoking the extend on T1. So T1 dot extend T2. All the items which are available in the list T2 gets added to the list T1 also. Okay, and where they get added? Again at the end. Okay, this is another. So if you want to append only a single item to an existing list, you can go for using the append. In case if you want to extend or append another list to an existing list, then you can go for using the extend function. Okay, and this example also leaves T2 unmodified. Now you'll get only T1 modified here because this method extend is invoked during using T1, and T2 remains same. This is unmodified. Okay, now we'll quickly execute this. This is my list T1. I have the another list T2 now. This is my another list T2. Now what we are doing, I want to extend the list T1 with the items of the list T2. Sorry, Control C. I'm doing this. So I'm invoking extend on T1 by passing T2 as the argument. Okay, now T1 is extended. Now we'll print T1. You can see T1 is extended with the items of T2. Now let me print T2 also. It is unmodified. So extend doesn't have any effect on the T2. It affects T1 because extend is invoked on T1 by passing T2 as the argument. Next, this one we have already seen. There is another function called as short which can be applied on the list. So initially I gave you some programs, and we have already used the short and reverse function. So this is another function. Say in case I want to short all the items or the elements of a list, so then I can go for using the short. So this one function, what it will do, it will understand the type of the list, and it will go for sorting. So if the list is a string, it will sort them in the alphabetical order. If the string is the integer, it will sort them in the numerical order. Okay. So, and again, we have already told that the list can be a collection of any different types of items. Inside a list you can have a character, integer, floating point, string, anything. So ultimately, so even if it's a collection of all these things, it uses the what alphabetical order sorting. When I say alphabetical order, so it takes the ASCII value of the character and then it will go for sorting. The character which has got the less ASCII value comes to the beginning, and the character which has got the very high ASCII value will be sorted at the end of the list. And this is again important. So this we have already seen, and I'll execute this. Most list methods are void. So what does it mean? They return none. Say we understood this. Append we understood. It's not returning anything. What it is doing, basically modifying this list, that's all, and it is not returning. It's not giving you any return value. And similarly extend also same. What it is doing, it is modifying this t1 and leaving t2 unmodified, and it's not returning anything. And what short is doing, short is also same. It's not returning anything. It takes this list and it modifies the same, and it's not returning anything. Okay. Now say for example, so I just want to do it. So t is equal to t dot short. So t dot short is okay. I want to sort. When I call this sort, so if I'm interested in sorting the elements of my list t, then I call t dot sort. So can I assign it something like this? Accidentally if I write, so you will be disappointed with the result. So because sort is not returning anything, append also doesn't return anything, extend also doesn't return anything. Now if you write something like this, the short should be able to return something. Now short is not returning the sorted array. It just modifies the existing list and leaves. And if you write something like this, the statement will not get executed, and it will give you an error saying short doesn't return anything. So that is what the disappointment with the result. Okay. Now we'll quickly see this. So this is my list. Now I want to sort them. So I have unsorted them. Okay, it's not sorted, they're in the unsorted order. Now I'm sorting it. Now I'll print t. So it is in the sorted order. Okay. Now can I have a list? Say for example, let me create an empty list with the name L. Now L is equal to t dot short. Sorry, L is equal to t dot short. Okay. Now print L. None. Nothing. Okay. No error, but there is no result. Because why this is happening? Because short is not returning anything. Okay. Yeah, I have the example for you. Try to do this. Write a Python function that take two lists and return true if they have at least one common member. Yeah, do it. And write your answers in the chat box. Are you people writing?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. send the answers. Yeah, I got one response. Okay, written using the functions. Good. Taken two lists and then calling the function with the name common and bypassing list 1 and list 2 for x in list 1 and nested inside for y in L2 if x is equal to y, return true. Okay, good. Otherwise return false. Good. Okay, can I have few more responses? Say in a class strength of around 60, I think this class strength is around 70. You have to, at least when I say send, at least 10 responses should come. Okay, let me move on to the next, and those who are still writing, please put it fast. Okay, I got one more. T1. Okay, list 1, list 2, initially flag is made as false. For I in T, for J in TT, if okay, flag is equal to true. Okay, print flag. Okay, okay, this is also correct. Okay, but indentation is not there, so since this is the chat box, okay, no problem. Okay, so now let me move to the next one. So answer is also there, so same thing as you people have written. Okay, so I am calling it twice. So print common data. Okay, this is the first list I'm passing, this is the second list. So initially I've made the result as false, so for x in the list 1, for y in the list 2, I'm just checking. So if they are same, I'm returning true. So I'm assigning result as true and return result. So I'm calling it twice. Let me take this example. So that means say for this example there is 5 which is common. So for this it has to return true. For this there is nothing in common. For this it has to return false. So one true and okay. Other one it is giving me none. Why? Okay, because so this return I have nested inside, written inside the if. That means this statement, if it is false, for the second case, so it's not returning anything. Okay, it's returning only when the condition is true. Okay, as our element is found, what we will do is we'll write this outside the if. Let us not nest this inside the if. Okay, yeah, I think so we'll put this completely outside. Okay, so now I should get it. So true and false. True for the first one, for this one, because 5 is matching, at least one element should match. 5 is matching. For the second one, so there is no match and it is giving you false. Understood now why it returned none here? Because this return result was inside the if. Okay, and it was returning the result only if this condition is true. If the condition is, if nothing is matching, so it was not returning any result, any boolean value it was not returning, hence it was printing none. So now I just return this return result outside the nesting, outside the for loop, and I can see true and false. So we'll move to the next. So till now you understood how to append, how to extend, okay, and then how to short, and similarly similar to this short there is also called as reverse. Okay, reverse function is also available which will reverse the elements in the, see, short will basically do in ascending order and reverse will do it in descending order. Okay, that reverse I'll show you. So on a simple list, okay, let me take this list itself. So t dot reverse print t AB, okay, A B C D. Okay, I think it works on only on integer. No. So let me check this. I'll just give an integer list. Yeah, it is reversing the integer list but not the strings. Okay, how to reverse the strings I'll tell you people, because this we have already done. Reverse we have used so long back itself. Okay, so how to reverse the strings, what is the function available, I'll tell you in the next class. So now we'll see how to delete an element. Okay, so there are many ways to delete an element from the list. If you know the index of an element you want, okay, if you want to know the index of an element you want, you can use the pop. Okay, say I want to delete an element or remove an element from the list, and if I know the index, then I can go for using the pop. See, this is my list and I want to remove an item or element which is at index 1. So here the element which is at index 1 is B. I want to pop this, I want to remove this. So t dot pop 1 I am calling. Okay, and then print, see, B is removed. Okay, pop modifies the list and returns the element that was removed. So, and that is the beauty. See, append was not returning anything, extend was not returning anything, short was not returning anything, even reverse also doesn't return anything. But the speciality of the pop function is that it deletes and it also returns the deleted item. See, t is equal to ABC I have written. Now x is equal to t dot pop of 1 I am writing. Now what is this one? Index of the item or the element which I want to remove. I will remove that element and it is also returning. Now here this is valid. So the expression which I am writing, or the variable which I am writing on the left hand side to the pop function is valid. So I'm invoking pop on this list T. I'm asking it to remove the element or the item which is at index 1 and assign the deleted item to X. Okay, so print T, so B is popped. Okay. And then why this is called as pop? Okay, so I hope all of you know the stack operation, push and pop. So and stack is LE4 data structure, last in first out data structure, and so you insert at one end and you are deleting from the same end. Okay, so that means the element which gets inserted at the last is the one to be deleted first. So same way. Okay, so if you don't provide an index, say I told you have to pass an index to the pop as an argument, so you can also call pop without passing any index. If you're calling pop on a list without passing any index, then it deletes and returns the last element, okay, or the top element or the last element which is added. Say this is the list, this is the first element of the list, this is the second element of the list, and this is the last element of the list. So if I call this pop without passing any index, so it is going to pop from the end. So if I call this first time, for the first time, it will pop C. If I call the same function again without passing any argument on this list, it will pop B, and then it will pop A. It goes like this. So for that reason, the name of the function is named as the function name is given as pop. Understood now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just a minute. Hello, madam ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ದ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅದು ಯಾವುದು? ಓಕೆ, ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಮೇಡಮ್. It was an emergency call. Yeah. Okay, so now we were discussing this, how to delete, and this is one function which is available, so the pop function. Okay, so we'll just demonstrate. I hope you people understood with the pop. We'll have a demonstration on this. So this is the list. Say I want to pop element B. I say X is equal to T dot from which list I have to pop? From the list T. You have to invoke pop on T. So pop. So and B, I know it's at the index 1. I do this. Now print X. X is B. Print T. So T is without B now. A and C. Okay. Now I told you can also call pop without passing any index or the argument. Okay. I'll call it again. X is equal to T dot pop. Okay. And then I don't pass anything now. Now which element it should pop now? There are only two items on the list T now. In the list T, one is A and C. It should pop out C. Okay. Now print what X. So C is printed. Okay. Now what happens if I call T dot pop? Okay. Only I am not writing anything on the LHS because I told pop also returns. Now no error, it will not give you any error. What it will do, it will pop the element, but it will return there is nobody to receive it. Okay, and it will ignore the value, return value. So popped element is A. Understood? So because C we had already popped, now we have popped A, but we were not assigning it to any variable. Okay. Now what happens if I call again T dot pop? Nothing. Okay, it is giving pop from an empty list, error. and for this you have to check the error. You should go for checking the length of the list. If the length of the list is 0 or list empty, how to check? I've already shown you how to check whether a list is empty. You can use the not operator. Okay, and if that is true, then you can say the list is empty before popping, as you were doing in what this stack. So we'll go to the next. Okay, so if you don't need the removed value, then you can use the delete operator. This is another way of deleting from the list. So if you want the removed item to be returned, then you can go for using the pop, because it always returns. So I'm not interested in knowing or returning the value that is deleted, that is getting deleted. Then I can use the delete. So this is my list. Say I want to delete B. So this is a delete T of 1 and then print. Now delete is not returning anything. Okay, it's not returning the deleted item. So this is one more way of deleting. Okay, now I want to delete. So del is the operator. So T of 1. So now print T. So B is deleted. So can you do A is equal to del T of 1? No, not possible. So it gives you error, invalid syntax, because delete is not returning anything. Understood now till here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, there's another method to remove also. If you know the element you want to remove but not the index, you can use remove. See, if you know the index, then you can use pop. So pop can be used without knowing the index also. I don't want to pass any index, you can use the pop. Again, it will remove from the end or it will remove from the top. I just want to delete, I don't want the deleted item, then you can go for using the delete. Now I just don't know the index, I want to delete by the element itself, then you can go for using remove. Okay, this I have the list and I want to remove. So what I'm passing to remove is not the index, the item itself or the element itself. It removes. Okay, and the return value from remove is none. Again, it's not going to return you anything. I'm removing B. So B is removed. Print T. So B is removed and it's not returning anything. So you can write, but it says none. Say for example, A is equal to, I'll write this again, but not B now. I'll try to remove C. So it has removed. Okay, C is removed but not written anything. If I say print A, it says none. A, so none. Okay, now if I print T, so C is removed. C is removed. Okay, so remove returns none. Okay, so now you understood three methods for removing an item from the list. One is pop, another one is delete, another one is remove. Okay, now say pop, how many you can remove at a time? Only one. And delete you understood for removing one item, and then remove, only one item can be removed. Say in case if you want to delete more than one item or one element, you can use delete with slicing. Okay, so on the delete slicing is also allowed. Okay, so this is my item. If I want to remove all the items from the index 1 to 4, then I can write 1 to 5. Okay, because 1 lesser than the second index. So B, C, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will remove this B to E. Okay, all will be deleted at once. So I'll just say this delete operator with the slicing concept. Now print, but delete is not returning anything. Print T, so it is only with A and F now. B, C, D, E are deleted. So understood now. So next is lists and functions. So we'll stop here. From here we'll continue tomorrow. So if you have anything to ask, any doubts or any clarification required, you can ask me. So attendees were 55, and I think 5 people have joined now just for the sake of attendance. I'm not sure. So they might have disconnected because of low network connectivity. So I should not deny that also. So don't feel bad. I think it is downloaded. Yeah, 9th October. Okay, so this is the file. So it is downloaded. Do you have any queries?
No, sir.
Okay, so then we'll end the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.